Drop your thoughts below. I read every single comment, and if you want to stay ahead as this story unfolds, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for Galactic breaking news, where the universe speaks and we listen. Because the next update might change everything. When NASA aimed the dying probe toward the interstellar object 3I/ATLAS, Voyager suddenly went silent for exactly 42 minutes, then came back. Different. Was it a malfunction, a response, or did something out there finally answer humanity's oldest message to the stars? Let's dive right in. When NASA first noticed the anomaly, no one in the control room panicked. Voyager 1 had been silent before. After all, it's been wandering the void for almost half a century, running on less power than a light bulb. The engineers thought it was another aging glitch. But this time, something didn't fit. Moments before contact was lost, Voyager's transmission strength rose. Not much, just a faint bump in carrier signal power. But it was deliberate, structured. It was as if the probe had focused its antenna on something. The timing couldn't have been worse, or more perfect. NASA had just directed Voyager's antenna toward a set of coordinates. The projected path of an interstellar object named 3I/ATLAS, a 5-kilometer wanderer moving nearly 78,000 miles per hour, fresh from the void beyond our solar system. Then came the silence. For exactly 42 minutes, the oldest spacecraft built by human hands vanished from every receiver on Earth. No static, no distortion, just a blank line across every monitor. And when the signal came back, what Voyager transmitted wasn't telemetry. It was a pattern, binary pulses repeating every 19.7 minutes. At first, analysts assumed it was random static. But as the data streamed in, the truth froze them. The rhythm was identical to a hidden mathematical sequence engraved on Voyager's golden record in 1977. The prime number sequence, humanity's way of saying, "we think." That couldn't be coincidence. Not when, at that very same moment, telescopes across Hawaii and Chile recorded 3I/ATLAS flickering in perfect synchronization with Voyager's pulses. The object's brightness rose and fell every 19.7 minutes, precisely aligned with the probe's transmission. For scientists, it was the kind of discovery that both thrills and terrifies. Two objects, separated by billions of miles, locked in rhythm like two heartbeats echoing across the void. Coincidence? Impossible. There's no natural process, no plasma resonance, no radiation fluctuation that could produce such precision. It was too neat, too deliberate. That's when the question emerged, the one no one wanted to say out loud. Did Voyager make contact? Inside NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, sleepless teams poured through the data. Each signal, each pause, matched the timing of the golden record's mathematical code. But one detail made it even stranger. The return pattern wasn't identical. It was inverted, a mirror image. Almost as if someone or something had read the message and was replying in kind. To the SETI researchers who examined it, it wasn't noise. It was logic. And logic meant intent. Still, science demands evidence. So the team looked deeper into the other half of the mystery. The object itself. 3I/ATLAS had already drawn attention long before the blackout. Its trajectory defied every model. Its tail pointed toward the sun instead of away from it, something no comet or asteroid had ever done. Spectroscopic analysis revealed nickel-based metals, common in engineered alloys but rare in natural celestial bodies, and its temperature somehow remained perfectly stable despite being bombarded with 770 watts per square meter of solar radiation. Under normal physics, that's enough to vaporize ice and crack stone. Yet Atlas held firm. It wasn't behaving like a rock. It was behaving like a system. When Voyager's pulse reached it, the object's velocity slowed by 1.8%, a deceleration no natural force could explain. There was no gravity nearby, no drag, nothing to push against. The universe doesn't just make things stop, unless something chose to. The theory that followed split the scientific world in half. Some believed Voyager's signal had triggered a dormant mechanism inside the object, like turning a key in a lock that had been waiting for decades to be used. Others dismissed it as collective imagination, a pattern humans imposed on randomness to make sense of the unknown. But the pattern kept repeating. Every time Voyager transmitted, 3I/ATLAS responded with synchronized light. When the probe paused, the object went still. When the probe resumed, the rhythm returned. Perfectly. It was a dialogue, silent, mathematical, but unmistakably alive. Then came the event that turned mystery into something else entirely. On September 12th, 2025, 3 days after the synchronization, Voyager 1 went dark. No warning, no error message. Every communication channel with the Deep Space Network flatlined for exactly 42 minutes. When the probe reconnected, engineers expected garbled data. Instead, Voyager transmitted something that made no sense at all, a data packet formatted like a software update, but originating from the probe itself. The command structure was clean, executable, and self-contained. Voyager had, in effect, rewritten part of its own operating code. Buried inside the signal was a small string of text, hidden in binary metadata. Echo 1977. NASA's official statement called it a temporary communication fault. But inside the labs, whispers spread fast. Engineers noticed that sections of Voyager's log files had been locked behind new encryption, keys no one had created. And during the same 42 minutes, NASA's public website went offline, displaying the message, "NASA is currently closed due to a lapse in government funding." Coincidence? Maybe. But the data servers were sealed for 2 days afterward, and when they reopened, sections of Voyager's raw transmission were gone, replaced by blank filler data. For some, that was proof enough. Not that aliens had spoken, but that something had happened, something too big, too uncertain, to show the world without answers. Weeks later, astronomers began detecting faint, structured pulses coming from Voyager's direction. Not loud enough to be a signal, but too regular to be noise. A whisper above the cosmic background, echoing every few minutes. When they slowed the waveform, the truth became chilling. The pulse mirrored the tempo of the Golden Record's soundtracks, the same spacing used to encode music, greetings, and even the recorded heartbeat of a human being. It wasn't just a signal, it was an echo. But it wasn't coming from Earth. And it wasn't a reflection. The timing was too clean, too responsive, shifting by milliseconds as if something near Voyager were imitating the signal in real time. That's when the boldest theory emerged, one that changed the tone of every discussion. What if 3I/ATLAS wasn't just a traveler, but a probe itself? Not from us, but from somewhere else. That would explain everything. The metallic composition, the unnatural stability, the mirrored pulse. The object wasn't a comet. It was a mechanism, an ancient one, reactivated by Voyager's mathematical handshake. If true, the Golden Record wasn't just a greeting. It was a trigger, a call that something, or someone, had finally answered. Since that day, scientists have fallen into quiet disagreement. Some insist it was natural resonance, an extraordinary coincidence born of physics we don't yet understand. Others say Voyager's signal unlocked a machine waiting in interstellar darkness. And the skeptics, they argue that humanity simply wanted meaning too badly to accept the silence. But the facts remain. A pulse synchronized between two distant travelers, a spacecraft that rewrote itself, a data blackout that no one can fully explain. For the first time, humanity might have spoken into the dark, and the dark whispered back. Voyager was built to carry our story. It was meant to drift forever, a symbol of hope. But maybe it wasn't just carrying our voice. Maybe it was carrying our reflection. And when it finally found something that could understand it, something that had been listening all along, it didn't just deliver a message. It began a conversation. Because somewhere beyond the sun, across 14 billion miles of silence, two machines, one human, one unknown, found each other. And now, for the first time in history, we have to ask a question that feels both thrilling and terrifying. If the universe truly heard us, what happens when it decides to speak back? Whatever truly happened during Voyager's 42-minute silence, one fact remains. Humanity has crossed a line we can't step back from. For the first time, our oldest probe may have heard something, and something out there might have heard us. This isn't just about mystery. It's about how far our curiosity can reach, and how much we're willing to learn when the universe finally answers. If you found this story thought-provoking, leave a comment below. What do you believe Voyager encountered? And if you want to stay ahead of the truth behind every cosmic event, like this video, subscribe to Galactic Breaking News and turn on the notification bell so you never miss what the universe reveals next. Interstellar Object 3I/ATLAS has just hit perihelion, its closest point to the Sun. And something astonishing is unfolding. Its new trajectory lines up almost exactly with the same direction it first entered our solar system from. Coincidence or design? Astronomers are baffled, and the implications could reshape how we understand interstellar motion. Let's dive right in. When astronomers first detected 3I/ATLAS, it seemed like just another interstellar visitor, a frozen wanderer from beyond our solar system. But as it reached its perihelion, the point closest to the Sun, something happened that no one fully expected. Instead of drifting along a random outbound path, ATLAS began to align almost perfectly with the same direction it originally came from. It's as if the universe pressed rewind. That discovery changed everything. Because this wasn't just a visual alignment, it was mathematical. The orbital vector, the angle of approach, even the rate of precession matched its inbound route within an error margin so small it forced scientists to ask, is this coincidence or intent? The anomaly was first spotted on October 29th, the exact date of perihelion. Observatories from Hawaii, Chile, and Spain reported subtle variations in trajectory, not large enough to trigger alarm, but significant enough to break every model predicting its orbit. At 1.36 astronomical units from the Sun, 3I/ATLAS briefly slowed its acceleration. In the world of orbital mechanics, that moment is crucial. That's where the Oberth effect peaks, the point at which a tiny amount of thrust can dramatically alter a trajectory by using gravity's own momentum. Natural